I see the whole, yeah, I'm gonna get all these issues. He's actually trying, he does this stuff.
Just give me a few minutes. Hello. All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. We are at meeting number 506. Just some ground rules, silence your cell phones and mobile devices. If we are, just so that if we are not disturbing the speaker, also if you have to get up, do so quietly. So just don't want to distract the speakers. My name is Chirag Mapara and I'm the Sergeant of Arms. We do have some roles, not roles open, but officers roles open for the coming year. So if you guys are interested, please volunteer and sign up for roles. All right. So with that, anyone has a success story? Tom?
Yeah. What's the success story?
So success story.
You always say success.
Yeah. A success story is just one or 2 minutes of how Toastmasters helped you in your professional, personal life. That's what it is.
Yeah, any recent events that
Yeah.
you want to share. So, as most of you know, I'm a struggling amateur comedian, right? Saturday was my first opportunity to do live stand-up. Yeah. Now, it was only for a group of youngsters, 13 to 17 years old. Chris was giving a presentation on financial literacy at the Scotts Valley Library, and he asked me to open up with a few jokes. So on finances and money. So I did that. I got up there and I did about a minute or so of comedy, live comedy, standing up. I tell you, it was a tough audience. Have you ever been heckled by a father and his 10-year-old son? It was disarming for me. I didn't know what to do, but I worked my way through it. And so my very first time. How about that? But there's more. So as some of you know, I'm a member of Humorous Toastmasters. We meet on Thursdays via Zoom. This Thursday is our open house, and so we're inviting people to come, and I'm actually doing 5 to 7 minutes of stand-up comedy via Zoom. So I have my material all set up. I think it's funny, but we'll see. But what I wanted to say is everybody is welcome to Zoom in on Thursday. I'll put a link in Trello. If you're interested, it's from 6 to 7. You can tap out after I do my thing. It doesn't matter, right? But if you're curious and you want to see Tom do 5 to 7 minutes and see what he's up to, then I'll put that in Trello, and you guys can think about it. So thank you. Oh, and by the way, Chris did a great job as
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Tom, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Tom. That's a huge, we know you have been working on it for like last few years. So that's a great.
It's fine. The dream is finally coming to
Yeah.
fruition. I can't believe it. I'm
Yeah.
laughing myself.
That's awesome. So the event that you said on Thursday, do you know what time you'll be speaking, between 6 and 7 or?
Probably about 6:15. I think I'm like the third.
Oh, okay. That's speaker. Okay.
So, yeah, feel free to zoom in and zoom out. No big deal. But that's what I'm up to. Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
2 drink minimum though. So.
Yeah. Great. All right. So anyone else? Success story? All right. So with that, I will hand it over to our Madam President, Dan Wynn.
Okay. Good evening, my dear fellow and guest. Is that right? Okay. Welcome. Next time, go to our classroom. Here's more fun. Hi, Emma. Yeah, can you hear me? Yes. Oh, sorry. Oh, he's our newest member. Okay. Tonight we are keep going our meeting. So the Toastmaster is Anna. Yeah, welcome, Anna. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anant Kumar, and I'm super excited to be here this evening playing a role of the Toastmaster. And welcome, Peter. I didn't know that. Okay. Okay. So, welcome, Peter. So, I think we have only one person joining us online. Welcome, Peter, to this meeting. I didn't know that you are already a member, but so welcome, welcome to this meeting. And Tom, congratulations for your first stand-up
Yeah.
assignment or role, whatever you want to call.
Just started.
Yeah. So it's
Different today.
yeah.
It's good walking on cloud nine.
Yes. It's somehow it's actually is appearing on your face. I can see you more confident. Something is different. So congratulations. Oh, nice, nice. You are more calm, and confidence generally comes up when you are calm. Yeah. So it's great to see when Tom is, everyone knows that Tom is the core member of this club, and Tom take care of pretty much everything, and very active in Trello, and make sure that this meeting is engaged, prepared, managed, or whatever it takes to run this meeting. For so many years, Tom has been putting putting his best foot forward. So congratulations, Tom, and we are super excited to be a part of your success. So
My journey.
yes, yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't be able to do it without all of you, so thank you. It's a team effort. When I get up there and I do my humor, I'm thinking of all of you, your smiling, laughing faces.
We are very happy to be your playground because we get to hear your jokes for free. Yeah. 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 And I'm very big fan of freemium model, so I won't complain about that. Alrighty. So today's agenda is I think we have three speeches today. Speaker number one is Tom, and Tom's speech will be evaluated by Snow. And speaker number two, we have Natalie. Good job, Natalie. Look like you are coming back very quickly. So it's really good to see that, And Natalie's speech will be evaluated by Chris. So,
Yeah.
but Chris is not here.
You're
So,
trying a little-
okay. And speaker number three, Alexi. Alexi, welcome back.
Thank you.
And Alexi's speech will be evaluated by Chirag. And we have Maria is our table topic master. So I'm sure we will see some more. We will get to do some more introspection, right? And deep questions. So I'm sure we'll have something to take back home, some thoughts to take back home and do some introspection. Functionary reports, we have timer, Electra. So Electra, why don't you come here and tell us what this role is about?
Good evening, I'm Electra. I will be your timer for this evening. I thought I would start out with a quote about time by Henry David Thoreau. Time is like a handful of sand. The tighter you grasp it, the faster it runs through your hands. So, this evening, I will be timing each of you. The basic plan is if you're doing well, you've got a green. If you need to be warned, you have a yellow. And if you get a red, that means you need to wrap it up. So as far as the speeches, it's 5 to 7 minutes. So 5 green, 6 yellow, 7 red. Unless you're doing an icebreaker, then it would be 4 to 6 minutes. Evaluations are 2 to 3 minutes. So 2 minutes green, 2.5 minutes yellow, 3 for red, and then table topics 1 to 2 minutes. So 1, 1.5, and 2. Thank you.
And for the R counter, we have Daisy.
Hi everyone, I'm Daisy. Today I'll be the counter and I'll be paying close attention to any usage of filler words like filler words and sounds. So like you know, uh anything like that. And if you feel like you're gonna use a filler word or just use a sound, I think just kind of compose yourself, think it through, use a pause, collect your thoughts, and just do your speech.
Like, do whatever the thing you have to do. Okay, and our English teacher in the house today is B.
Hi, everyone. It's good to see you all and our guests, well, actually our new member. And my name is B. Hernandez, and I'm going to be your grammarian today, which means I'm going to introduce the word of the day, and we're hoping that somebody uses it 10 times or more. That'd be awesome. So the word of the day is eloquent, and it's an adjective to describe speech or writing that expresses ideas such as expresses ideas in a very vivid or moving, powerful way. So an example would be, she received high marks for her eloquent essay about gardening with her grandmother. All right, so the other thing I'm going to be looking for is language usage, mostly memorable phrases and words in your speech. And I'll note, word crimes here and there, but other than that, mostly read the good stuff. So I'll give my report at the end.
Thank you, B. And the journal evaluator for this evening is Maria. No, Sonia, sorry.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I'm going to be your general evaluator. And basically what I'm going to be looking for is how this meeting is running. And I'm looking for timeliness as well as enthusiasm from all the participants. And I will be giving you my final report at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonia. Okay, so we can get, so for speaker number 1, Tom, I'm gonna invite Snow to introduce Tom's speech.
Hi everyone, I'm Snow, and I'll be the evaluator of our rising star Tom today, of her eloquent speech today. Is that right? Okay. The title of the speech is "Coffee Fix Interrupted." Okay. And the pathway information is engaging humor, level 3 and project 3. And the stated purpose is that to practice being aware of your thoughts and feelings, as well as the impact of your response on others. And the one sentence to describe the speech is, tonight, Tom will invite you to examine how we deal with life's inconveniences. This is his 40-second speech in Toastmasters.
There'll be nothing eloquent about this speech tonight. Okay, so imagine you're driving home after a long, exhausting day at work. You're tired, you're hungry. All you want to do is get home, take off your shoes, and have a nice dinner, and maybe a gin and tonic. Right, Thor? Right? Right. So you're sailing away in the fast lane on the freeway, headed home, and listening to music, everything's going fine. And then all of a sudden, you come up on that slow driver in the fast lane. They're not going the speed limit. They're going 10 miles below the speed limit, forcing you to slow up, forcing you to interrupt your ability to get home to your gin and tonic, right? Now, some drivers will get up on the tail and start tailgating that slow driver, maybe beep the horn, and if they don't move out of the way, quickly drive around them and maybe give them a dirty look, right? Others will back off and give that slow driver some space. And then if they don't move out of the way, politely go around them, maybe even wave to them as they go by. Tonight, I'd like to invite all of you to consider our reactions to life's inconveniences and see if there isn't a better way for us to navigate our way through them. If we take a closer look at these drivers, why the different responses? Well, that first driver, he's obviously operating from a self-centered mindset, a mindset of impatience, that the world is conspiring, always conspiring against them, right? Me first. Negative mindset. It's a mindset that's not healthy. Whereas the other driver, patient, positive, maybe aware that something might be going on with the slow driver and gives them the space. Just understanding that we need to have empathy for anybody that we may see, whether it's on the freeway, the sidewalk, or anywhere. So that first driver, if they were told, well, the first driver, they probably think that that slow driver is just an idiot, right? But if they were told that that first driver, slow driver, is dealing with something fairly heavy, that they're lost in thought as they're driving on the freeway. Maybe they just went to the doctor's office and got some bad health news. Or maybe they just lost their job and they're thinking about, how am I going to provide for my family, right? Or they're coming home from the veterinarian where they've had to put down the beloved family pet. Everybody's going through something. Yet that impatient driver doesn't leave room to consider other people, right? Can't put themselves in the shoes of someone else, lacks empathy. You know, impatience is a terrible and unhealthy way to go through life. It really is. You know, it's funny, this Sunday morning, I like to get my coffee bright and early. And so I go down to the coffee shop right at 7 a.m., right when they're opening. I think, oh, I'll be the first in line. I have my to-go mug. All I need is black coffee, right? The simplest thing you can get from a coffee shop. So I stroll in, and sure enough, there's a customer there ahead of me. But it's just not any customer. She's saying, okay, well, I want this is all to go. I want the latte, non-fat milk. I want the cappuccino, the matcha, but not too much steam. All of a sudden, here we go. She's obviously on a coffee run for her friends. So she gets done with the coffee order and then she starts looking at the treats. Well, one of those. And I'm coming up on this and all I want is my black coffee. And then I'm saying to myself, I'm writing a very speech on patience and how we respond. And here I am. This is life imitating art, you know. So I just had to sort of laugh. I took a step back and I just watched her do her thing. And slowly but surely, she was done with her order. She had to pay a couple times and then she was on her way and I had my black coffee and the world was right again, right? But it forced me to come face to face with this topic that I've been thinking about for a couple of weeks. And I was so happy that it did because it really drove home the point of how are we approaching life's inconveniences that come our way. And why do we react one way when we should be responding a different way? So how do we cultivate a more positive mental attitude? I believe that gratitude is at the root of it. And when I say gratitude, I mean a daily gratitude practice. Some of you may do that. Maybe in the morning before you get up, you think of something that you're grateful for. One thing, two things, not a big deal. And sort of meditate on that for a minute. Or at the end of the day, when you put your head on the pillow, meditate on something that happened during the day that you're grateful for, whatever it might be. In addition to gratitude, though, I think we also need to have an awareness that everybody is going through something in their lives, that we're not alone, that we're trying to get home and now someone's slowing us up. How dare they, right? No, everybody's dealing with something. So it's empathy for others. We may start our day, you know, you hear about starting the day, getting out on the wrong side of the bed, right? We've all done that. And maybe it's you stub your toe as you're walking to the bathroom, and then you go down and make your coffee and you spill your coffee, and then you're walking your dog for the morning walk halfway through, and you remember that you forgot to bring the poop bags. We've all done that. You know, and so you can let all those things that come up create this ripple effect of negativity that goes through the entire day in your interactions with people and puts a sour attitude out in the world. Or with a mindset of gratitude and awareness, you can brush that stuff off and go about your day and still bring positivity to the world. So when we rise in the morning, give gratitude for the gift of another day. Ask yourself, what energy are you going to be bringing to the world today? And when those things come up, as they most certainly will during the day, that will test your patience. Maybe it's the slow driver in the fast lane. Maybe it's the slow customer on a Sunday morning at 7 a.m. at the coffee shop. Just take a breath, smile, remind yourself of your good fortune, and be grateful for having an opportunity to practice patience. Stop reacting and start responding with empathy and awareness. Thank you.
Excellent speech, Tom. I think the lesson about that be aware about other people's what other people might be going through, I think it hit home for me. I remember during COVID when everything got locked down and we are in the middle of the COVID, everything was unsure, uncertain, and everybody was anxious. I was pulling into a Los Gatos Safeway store, and although it was not my mistake, it was somebody else's mistake, and that person really honked at me, gave me a very aggressive look, pulled down his window, and even uttered some bad words to me. And my kids and my family was in the car, and I did not engage. I just kept going and went away from him. And my wife was, why don't you get down, because it was his mistake. And I told her same thing, that see, it's a COVID thing going on, a lot of people have lost their job, a lot of people are in the tight relationship. After that, there was a data came out that many people went through the divorce during the COVID time, because this is the first time they were living, you know, so much together, and they got to see their true nature. So just realizing that thing, because other people might be what they might be going through, and it's just a manifestation of what might be going about in their lives. So your story really hit home to me, and I'm glad you shared this lesson with everything. And I think the gratitude is also something, if we really have to look a little bit, take a step back and see for ourselves, I think we have a lot of things we should be have the gratitude about. We have lot more than what we need, in our life. So with that, thank you for sharing your story and important lesson with us. So let's take a minute to give Tom feedback. There is a QR code in the middle of the table sheets. So scan this QR code and it will take you to a Google form and enter your feedback. So let's give Tom some feedback, although it's a very hard job to do. Let's try our best. Chris, is there a way the Peter who is online can also submit his feedback? I know he don't have access to the QR code. Okay.
Toastmasters.org and then go down to the speaker feedback one.
Okay.
You can let him know.
Yeah, Peter, can you hear me, Peter? So if you want to submit your feedback for Tom, you can also do that online. You can go to the Los Gatos. What is the URL again, Tom?
Toastmasters.org.
Okay. Oh, I think he left, or we dropped the connection. We dropped it?
No, it's there.
Okay. So, Peter, you can go to the online, you can go to the Los Gatos Toastmaster website, and then there is a feedback form, a speaker feedback form. Click on that and you can also submit the feedback for Tom. Okay, 10 more seconds. Let's wrap it up. Okay, for speaker number 2, Natalie, I'm going to invite Chris over here to introduce Natalie's speech.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Appreciate that. Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Giannetti, and I'll be having the honor of evaluating Natalie Bondell's speech tonight. So she will eloquently describe a human perspective on artificial intelligence. Her pathway is presentation mastery, level 1, project 4. The objective of the speech is to focus on evaluation and feedback of the topic she's describing tonight. The 1-sentence evaluation of it and description is what Winston Churchill and I have in common and how you can have it too. Welcome, everybody. Natalie Bondell.
All right. So I want to see show of hands who have ever used AI in this room. And who like that? All right. So as some of you know, I am a software engineer, and it happened that I have worked with AI way back before it became so popular. I worked with AI and on developing a product that works with AI about 10 years ago. Since then, I have gathered all kinds of thoughts, and in the last couple of years, it happened to be such increase, so I wanted to share my take on the entire thing that is called AI. And let's start from a very distant place. Winston Churchill. So some of you know that he loved taking a bath. And one of the things he was doing while he was taking a bath is writing his address, his speeches to the nation. And many times it went like that. He had his assistant sitting in another room, and they worked together. She was starting, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. And he's like, don't call them distinguished. They're not distinguished. And she's like, dear ladies and gentlemen, we have gathered today. Get to the point. We don't need that. And I mean, how awesome is that to have an assistant that understands your context, your voice, and your intent. And you could take a bath during writing your speech, right? All that is what we have in common with Winston Churchill today. I have similar assistant. I don't have his cigar. I don't have his British accent, but I have this ability. This is completely possible with today's technology, and it is easily available, and it is even free. So why some people are still not using AI though? So there are some hesitations around this area, right? Some people avoid using new technologies. They are a little bit afraid of having it overwhelming. They're afraid from scams or trying using things in general. Some other people feel like it is cheating or it's fake and not authentic to use AI for creativity areas. And what I want to say about it is whether you want it or not, AI is already here in everyone's lives. For example, you notice that in Netflix, it gives you recommendations on movies to watch. How it does that? There is an AI that learns all your movies that you liked and disliked and recommends new shows based on those. Another example, have you ever tried to book a flight ticket and entered their website a couple of days in a row, and each day the price goes higher? That's AI. They know that a person enters the website, and it means that the person is interested. So they learn your behavior, and based on that, they increase the price. So whether we want it or not, we are a part of the world that is heavily using AI right now, and we should also leverage these abilities. And a while ago, it could be complicated for a simple person to use that, but now it's just as easy as installing an app on your phone. You can install ChatGPT on your phone and have all these abilities. I would say it's even as easy as texting your friend, because you get fast response. You get mostly very smart answers to your questions. And even better, you won't get a thumbs up response on your long message, and your friend won't, and ChatGPT won't ghost you back like your friend, right? About creativity, I want to say that AI has been trained on large amounts of data, and that makes its responses sometimes average. And I believe that you are guys not average. Each of us is unique and can do really great things. We should not fear AI will take our place in creativity. Instead, AI can amplify and improve our results of our creativity and where we take it. So I want to share with you a couple of practices how I use AI for Toastmasters. What I found really useful is when I start working on material for my speeches, I use voice to text to talk through my thoughts, and then I get all those thoughts in Google Doc. This way, I get those thoughts in a format that is more speech-oriented and not reading-oriented. So it really helps me with that. Then I asked AI to polish my language. As a non-native English speaker, it really helps with all kind of small grammar and words and things like that. I use it to get feedback on parts where I'm not sure about. And what I like about it, that you can be in control how much of AI you have and you use. You don't have to ask it to write your speech, but you can improve your own speech in your own way with controlling how much of that you take and how much of that you leave behind. So my recommendation to treat AI is as an assistant and not as a threat. It would help you think faster, write better, and even look smarter. And for those of you who haven't started using that, I suggest you to start small. Start with your next speech. Start with next brainstorm. Start with even a grocery list. Whatever you do, just start and see how it works for you. And what I suggest you to do is to work with AI and just to remember that the future is not coming. It is already texting you back. Thank you.
Very powerful AI hacks, Natalie. Thank you for sharing this AI story with us and making us up to date with the technology. So thank you for all that. And definitely we should treat AI agent, AI thing as an AI agent as an assistant. And I'm sure means you can have the AI agent as your bathroom assistant without annoying your spouse. So, so Netflix just released the new UI yesterday. I don't know people who are very fond of using the Netflix. So they released the new UI, and I'm sure it uses more AI features and all. Some people would like it, some people would not. For example, one of my kid liked it, one of the kid did not like it, and they wanted to have the old interface. But Netflix do not give you an option to go to the older UI. So similarly, AI is here, like Natalie was saying, it's a mainstream. There is no option to go back. So we have already moved to the new world. So it's better we adopt it, and that'll help us to make our life better. So let's take 60 seconds and give Natalie our feedback to make her better. So please talk about what did you like about her speech, her body language, her posture, and what is the critical feedback you want her you want to give her so that she can be better. So 30 more seconds. Wrap it up. Okay, so let's move to the last speech of the day. Speaker number 3 is Alexi, and I would like to invite Chirag here to introduce Alexi's speech.
It's a great honor to introduce Alexi as the next speaker. Alexi has given lots and lots of speeches, and he's always open to give a speech even at the last minute. So really, really appreciate the enthusiasm, and I have to learn from it. But yeah, yeah, it's really impressive. So you're on level 5, presentation mastery. Is this your second pathways, or is this the first one? First one. Okay, all right. Okay, so Alexi, presentation mastery, pathways number 5. Sorry, level 5. Project is prepared to speak professionally, and stated purpose is introduction to speak professionally through the areas of expertise, connection with audience, and supporting the message. And the description is a story about my first judo coach and his influence on my character. So with that, I would like to welcome Alexi.
Thank you. This time was last 15 minutes actually to prepare, so much more than usual. It's the usual. So I'd like to talk about a little bit of my experience and the influence I got from certain people. In this case, this is my first judo coach, how he influenced me, how he reshaped my character, and how it helped later me in my life, actually, lots of different situations. And his influence on me was really eloquent, I would say, really big. Now, I grew up in an industrial city of Russia, just as all industrial cities. There are pros, there are cons, good and bad. The unique situation was the city was kind of people live in between manufacturing facilities. How it was located by the huge forest called taiga, right? So, right, you can go to taiga, you can go to forest, you can go ski. On the other side, you have all these industrial facilities. Now, as a kid, I grew up there, and when my dad returned from the service, so he just was growing up back then. He tried to put me into different activities. I was doing swimming. Naturally, my dad used to do lots of scuba diving professionally, and he was a really good swimmer, so he put me into swimming club. I never came to his level actually, because for him, like couple of kilometers, so a couple of miles was just warm up. For me, it was kind of maximum I can do, kind of while swimming. He tried to put me in the math club, even was going several times to Olympiads, math Olympiads, trying to do my best. Same, that probably wanted me to be a PhD. He was a prominent student, but then Army decided they needed people immediately, and he was drafted instead of PhD. And after that, too late. And with all these activities, I was trying like modeling, airplane modeling, ship modeling, etc. But nothing really clicked to me. And at some point, my dad put me into judo club just to develop my skills. And it really changed my life. So the club was really competitive. So targeting Olympics, essentially. There were like 4 world champions in the club. One of them was very famous back then, 4
times world champion heavyweight. So the target was to deliver these sport guys to Olympic teams. And it created certain situation where many coaches were targeting talents, were searching for talents. You know it from football, I guess, other professional sports in America, where coach tried to find those gifted guys and pretty much concentrating on those gifted guys. And there was that coach, actually I started with him, that was quite unique. The difference was that he dealt with he really loved kids. He loved kids a lot. He was just devoting himself to teaching kids. He was spending lots of time with less promising kid in a group, in a team, just, mentoring him, coaching him, training him. I remember there was one guy, really overweighted guy, came, his mom brought him to the club and he wanted him to lose weight. And the guy was just resisting because, felt uncomfortable, felt weird. And I remember that coach, his name was Yuri, spent so much time with him. And finally, the guy started feeling comfortable walk as everybody else. So there were lots of it was tough. So we had this kind of training pretty much every other day. So several times a week we have this sparrings over there. Since it was Olympics, we had sport camps, like start running in the morning, same as sports club over here in high school. I know my kids. Really tough. But with that coach, he was encouraging everybody, all kids in his group trying to do their best. And he was teaching us how to overcome as physical as mental fears. So actually through this kind of club activities happened to me several times. First, I was really initially afraid of tournaments, competing. I don't know why, I just had this fear paralyzing me. And because of him, he learned me how to overcome it. Later on, I was seriously injured, so we were doing these jumps overhead, and mats just shifted away a little bit. It's a known problem. It's all this active sports, so I just broke my leg. Now, no, it was bad, yes, but point is, I remember when I recovered back, it took around a year. It was psychological fear of doing exercises because I got stuck this pain and later pain, because pain, if you know, it goes like 4 months after that. You lay in a bed, it just nothing to do. You just wait for it to be over. It got stuck. And because of him, I was able to overcome and come back to sports and start doing it again. And again, even started doing these jumps again. He really influenced me a lot. Just really thankful to him. And the guy looked really soft spoken, really nice face. It was deceptive. So he was like deceptive because of his background. He started like he was a top European player in judo, drafted to the army. After the army, he joined a special police force dealing with especially dangerous criminals. They were taking only top sportsmen in this kind of unit. And then he came to train kids because he loved kids a lot. So that's kind of type of the guy. And you would never think that he's a tough guy when you talk to him. It's kind of soft, nice, again, just screens this kind of love around him. Until nowadays, I remember him. I visited him later when I came to visit my city, when I just left my home for future endeavors. Later on, he said he had to return to the police force just because teaching kids did not pay a lot, and he had his own kids, had to pay bills. I guess many of us familiar with that problem, right? But he wanted always to return back to training kids. Unfortunately, it did not happen. He died in a car accident, car crash, one of these unfortunate events out of our control. But I remember this guy, and he gave me a book. I kept it for long in my life. I'm not sure I translated correctly because it was in Russian, right? So just make up your mind and follow your path. The meaning was make your decision, make your choice, and follow your decision in your life. Later in life, when I bumped into all kinds of challenges, as mental, as physical, I really each time was kind of remembering this phrase, this word, this book, and try to follow what I learned from that coach back then when I was a teen. It helped me a lot in my life later, and I tried to teach my kids some stuff that I learned from him in terms of how to be human, how to interact with other people, how to be forgiving, how to love other people for no conditions, just Doesn't matter how a person look to you initially or how you feel about it, but just be nice and love others. So thank you very much. That was my speech for today.
Thank you, Alexei, for sharing your personal story with us. So that brings us to the end of all the eloquent speeches. So let's give Alexei also feedback. So let's take 60 seconds before we go to the next topic. And don't forget to press the next button, which will take it to the next page where you can vote for the best table topic speaker. Take a few more seconds to wrap it up. Okay, so let's move to the most fun part this evening. Our table topic master is Maria.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you for beautiful, eloquent speeches today. So much I can relate to. The first one, Tom, I wrote in the comment, my favorite words, so many of them, awareness, compassion, gratitude, like, and it's all in your humorous speech. I can connect, I have AI on my phone too. And yeah, I did judo too. And I guess your teacher, after dealing with criminals, came to teach children because that's how you can create hope. How can you prevent crimes in a way? Yeah. Table topics for today, based on the book I'm reading, one of 5 books that I'm actively reading right now, Scattered Minds, about attention deficit disorder. And I will, since I'm preparing for my visit to DC, as it was a joke last meeting, I will start with the quote from the book by Gabor Mate. There would be much less ADD and much less of other disorders of development as well, if fathers as well as mothers were encouraged to consider the child's interests paramount in the formative years, and were not denied the required social and economic support. So based on this quote, my question, one question for everybody, because I really I think it's fair that you feel the question and prepare, and if you have something to say. So the question would be, what should be done in this country to make the good childhood systemically possible? So what should be done with the system, with in any way, to make the childhood that children are worthy of possible? Now, thank you for thinking about that. Well, since we are here now, but since we are so many of us from different countries, you can bring your experience, your knowledge from those countries. Sonia? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so this is a topic that I am very much aware of. we have a son who was diagnosed with ADD, and he even suggested, "Hey, Mom, you should go get checked out because the apple doesn't fall very far from the tree." Okay, I have my whole life felt that there was always something kind of missing in the sense of that I always felt like a little squirrel going from this place to that place. Now, many years later, I believe what should happen in this country is basically more revolved around our school system, which is not designed adequately to prepare children to be seated and just focused, but allow them to move either within the classroom to give them more opportunity to indulge in arts and physical education to blow off that extra energy, because I believe that there are many more kids that I don't know that it's necessarily, I mean, obviously there are many different levels of the ADD, but it would allow children the opportunity to blow off steam, to discover more about themselves, their bodies, their movement, and arts, and give them more selections, give them more priority to choose. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sonia. Well, the book says that ADD is a stress response, it's not something else. It's stress response from kids. And yes, I agree that doing different activities in school would ease that stress in some ways. Chris, thank you.
Great topic.
Parents.
Thanks for prompting the question for us all.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So similar to Sonia's response, I think there's two things that we could do to systemically affect the well-being of children in this society. The first is, I think, have a system that doesn't standardize learning in such a way where every child, no matter what their strengths are, go through the same curriculum, the same class, the same path, the same subjects. I think back to the model of Montessori, which my daughter started with when she was younger, and there was a lot of critical thinking. There was a lot of growth at a very early age, and there was a lot of having a guided self path throughout the day. So imagine if our education system was more tuned to that. So someone that was more artistic got to embrace that throughout elementary and middle and high school and became an amazing artist and creative mind. Or someone that was more of a mathematician could go another route a lot earlier on and not just in high school and college. Another thing that I think would benefit society that I participated in this weekend was more financial literacy. I think this is a great equalizer. I think that children in public schools and in different communities, whether they're public or private, there's a whole mix of socioeconomic levels of resources on those families, and making sure that every child, no matter what, has a sound foundation in the principles of personal finance. They understand investing, they understand compounding, they understand debt management and responsible use of it, can help to create better outcomes for something that's very intimidating for all the young minds and all the adult minds that are in this world. And so if we can say, instead of you getting one stock simulator in one class in high school before you graduate, and say this is a fundamental skill set that we're going to build up from first grade on, little by little, it will empower so many young minds and help them be more creative at having a business, at being an engineer, at being whatever they want to be. But they know that understanding money and how that element works in our society will not deter them from their goals. Thank you.
Natalie, do we have time? All right, right?
Yeah. Right. Thank you, Maria, for this wonderful question. Okay, unpopular opinion. I don't feel an expert enough in this field to talk about our country's what should the country do on a systematic level to improve on that topic. And this is not specifically about ADD. This is about 99% of the topics that are discussed daily among people. I am an expert in a very, very small field, and I feel confident to discuss and to suggest and to recommend things in that field. So on a country-based level, I feel that I personally am not a good resource to provide suggestions. But I do have a suggestion. As a mother of 3 very energetic boys, my suggestion is to learn your own kids and to influence and to work with what you have in your own home, because there you can actually do something. I don't believe I, as a person right now, can do something on the level of the entire US, but I'm sure that I can do something with my 3 own kids, and maybe even with some my friends' kids, where I talk with my friends and I can give my opinion there too. But that's it. That's the farthest that I feel I can go. But if everyone does that, if everyone learns their kids, understands where this behavior comes from, sees how we can support that kid, let's do what we can do at our own home. Let's find the best ways to support our own kids in a way that we don't have to rely on other people think for us on the level of the entire nation. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I really appreciate bringing the topic of uniqueness and curiosity towards our kids from the very, very beginning. And I would appreciate the awareness of limits of different families in the resources. It's not just about curiosity, but like more social awareness as a part of citizenship involvement, I would say. I'm recently became a citizen, so What? One more? One more?
Yeah, let's go one more.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Thank you.
I think my kid was in middle school or something like that. And he came home with a grade B. And it was like, and then he said, Mommy, 60% is average, is C. So it's already above average. And I said, honey, in this family, A is average, B is below average. And then I don't want to go further beyond that, all right? So just stop there, right? And so my kids have grown up okay. And I never think that I need to complain about this country, the education system whatsoever, because another story from my husband, I mean, we are in 50, so, but one of his elementary classmates just had a baby. I'm like, okay. And then so they were talking about how he, needed to kind of get the kids' education or things like that in Singapore. And then so I asked my husband, so do you think we missed out something that we moved everything from Singapore to the States? And then he said, well, the only thing we miss is camping. I'm like, camping? What camping? I hate camping. I don't want to go camping. And he said, then I was like, oh, I know what he was talking about. Because in order to get to very good schools in Singapore, all the parents need to camp outside of the school a night before to get to the first one. I'm like, oh, okay, I don't miss that whatsoever at all. So I don't, honestly, the only thing I wanted to ask is why can we get the kids better at school? And then why are we only getting kids like half of the year? I mean, there are so many vacations, holidays, teachers' learning days, this day and that day. Kids never learning anything. I don't know what's going on. I'm so glad my kids turned out okay. But I think we need to kind of get kids to study a bit more. Okay.
Thank you. So I learned okay is the average sometimes. I was surprised that nobody talked about the really, really early childhood when in this country a mother have to go to work at 6 months old, like when the baby is 6 months old. It has such a great impact on the development of the baby. So this country cannot afford normal development of its citizens. I think it's well, in my country, I mean, in my other country, I was on paid leave for 2 years and free kindergarten. So there is something to improve on. But thank you so much for your participation.
Thank you so much, Maria. I think the topic was very, very thought-provoking and very deep. And thank you for sharing your insights from that book. I don't know if people, maybe you can tell the name of the book again, just in case. Okay, Scattered Minds.
The pathway was on the myth of normal, the same author.
Okay, okay. Yeah, look like this book is an excellent book and very, very thought-provoking. People who have the kids, young kids, means it's definitely look like a good book to read. Alrighty, okay, so let's on that same page, if you are on that same Google Form page, there is an option to pick your who was the best table topic speaker, and I think we had 4 people came over here, Sonia and Sonia, Chris, Natalie, and Vivi. Yes, thank you.
On page 2 of the Google form, then hit submit on.
Yes. Okay, so we before we go to the functional report, I think there are 2 people in the group today who didn't get an opportunity to speak. So I want to give them the opportunity to speak. At least take 1 minute, just share anything either on that same topic which Maria talked about, or what did you do over the weekend. First, let's start with you, Peter. So
can you hear me okay?
yes.
Okay. I don't know what to say. I mean, I guess about the topic that she was discussing, I do agree that mothers like should get more like time with their kids when they're first born. That time is really important to the development. I can speak from my own experience with my godson when he was first born, because my cousin was working a lot. It was really hard, and he faced some developmental issues. Uh, but yeah, like I'm not an expert, so that's as much as like my thoughts about that goes.
Thank you, Peter, for sharing your thoughts. And I think the second person is Singwa. Singwa, come over here and tell. I think you are the only one who didn't get an opportunity.
This kid here, Thor, has.
Oh yeah, Thor as well. Okay.
Chris.
Okay.
Chris, this is Sonia's husband. Chris.
Yes.
Okay.
Alrighty. Okay, let's take 1 minute each and come over here and talk about, either you can talk about on the same topic what Maria talked about, or you can tell anything, means about your weekend, favorite food, restaurant, or anything.
But I don't know how to teach the children, but I just gave her freedom, gave her free, because everyone need a free. She has their own thought, own manage. So when I remember when my daughter was in grade, please grade 3. In the weekend, we go outside, have a trip. And my daughter told me, I finished homework. I said, okay, we go outside. And then when we back to home, she said, I don't do homework. Right now, I do homework. I told, no. Right now is sleep time. How can I do? Tomorrow's teacher will class me. It's your responsibility. It's not mine. You're telling me you had to finish homework. And next day, my daughter smiled, said to the teacher, my father said, sleep time means sleep, don't do homework. And this weekend, we are very busy. So the teacher was surprised and asked me, how do you think about it? I told the teacher, you can criticize him because he don't do work. And my daughter, I say, she feel, so I cannot. And if you criticize in the whole class, they will feel guilty. They will take responsibility. They will never done this mistake. The teacher said, okay. And then I gave my daughter free, and meantime, they will take her responsibility. So everything decide herself. I'm very easy. Just
I'm sorry, I have to stop Thor and Chris, you, because I totally missed that we didn't go through the speech evaluation and we're running out of time. I thought we were okay, but it's totally my bad. So let's go with the speech evaluator. Snow, please come over here.
Okay, hi, I'm Snow, and tonight we got to enjoy Thomas' 40-second Toastmaster speech. And honestly, it was everything that we become to expected from him because it's warm, it's witty, and it's deep, like we always expected from Tom. Okay, and everything started with something really simple, just getting a cup of coffee, okay? And one of the things I really admire about Tom's style is how he finds meanings in every little things in life. And I think that's a good character for a comedian because you can find all the materials in real life. So you're just very resourceful and you got everything to talk about. And whether it's stuck behind someone overthinking their coffee order or slowly trailing a car in the driveway when you want to, all you want to do is to get a gin tonic and get home. And you brought those moments to life. And I could see a slow car and feel your inner dialogue and be so annoyed along with you. So I really like that you bring all the things into such a vivid scene. And I love how you framed it, the negative drivers versus the empathy driver. And because honestly, we all been there, be the negative driver at some point. But what really stood out in your story was your choice to pause and to reflect and to respond with empathy. And I clearly truly feel your gentleness toward the world. And even a moment at the coffee shop, instead of just making a funny rant, and you turn it into something deeper and an opportunity to practice gratitude and to be present and to grow. And when you said, this is life imitating art, and I smiled because your whole speech feel like a really good film, which is like imitating art itself, your speech itself. So overall, your delivery was very smooth and grounded, like a conversation with a friend. So if there's only one little thing that I could suggest, it would be I would love to see you bring more physicality into your speech, like a shrug, like a sigh, like the impatience. So to make your humor to land stronger. Okay. So overall, Tom, you didn't just entertain us. You remind us to breathe and to be kind and to find meanings in the little hiccups of life. So looking forward to your speech 43. Thank you.
Excellent speech evaluations now. So I would like to invite Chris to evaluate Natalie's speech.
I'll keep it brief. Great job again, Natalie. Great topic. So for all of you that may not know, there is general evaluation forms on Trello, and it's a 3-page form that everyone can standardize their evaluations on. That goes what you excelled at, what you may want to work on, and what you could do to challenge yourself for the next level. Then there's a second page with different criteria that's more the mechanics. So what you excelled at, there's 5 things here. Good hand gestures and stance. You were up here, you were confident, you were open, you're moving your hands, moving with us, communicating physically. Great background into your career. It built a lot of credibility with the audience today. I really like that. Great connection to Winston Churchill, right? Telling his note taker in the bathtub what he wanted to say to the nation versus speaking to Otter AI on an app, right? I mean, yeah, it could be the same. Number 4, confident eye contact. A lot of the times I saw you gazing here and there at the audience members, drawing them in. That makes sure we're there with you and we're connected in that moment. Number 5, great examples of how you humanize AI by how you use it every single day. I know that I used it on the way from Scotts Valley to Santa Clara and back to Scotts Valley and lost gas today with my Tesla FSD. So I use it every day. Or my wife had something and it said something about a school email that was very confusing. And I said, basically, I want to say this to it and copy all, give me back the result. They gave me a perfect email summary. I gave to my wife. I said, send this back to the office, please. Goes, okay. So the different areas that are the mechanics. Oh, actually, what you may want to work on would be, I think the one thing I noticed is kind of catch your breath. I feel like sometimes it happens to me. Like if I get up in front of an audience, a big audience, I get tight. I feel like I'm losing my breath. There's like this tightness in my chest. So work on that. To challenge yourself, drop the notes, of course, we always say that. And also you moved your hands, but your hips and your legs were like cemented into the ground. Like it's okay to move around a little bit, to speak to this side, to speak to this side. And the criteria here, clarity, vocal variety, eye contact, gestures, audience awareness, comfort level, interest, well-supported topic. The things you did 4 or above was well-supported topic, high interest to everybody here. You were aware of your audience and they were aware of you. Gestures were great and eye contact was on point. So great job. I'll email you this later.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris, for providing very comprehensive evaluation feedback. Thank you. And now I would like to invite Chirag to evaluate Alex's speech.
Thank you. Alexi, you're a great speaker, a lot of confidence. You're very comfortable with the audience. I really liked your speech, the beginning of the intro, how you were very descriptive about where you were from. You talked about, I was picturing you said an industrial city and then forest, and you used some really descriptive words which helped me kind of visualize like what it must be like. And then you also talked about your dad, who you said he was a scuba diver. That gave me a little bit of a background. Oh, you said like, oh, you were going to like this club where they were training Olympians. So that really set the scene. Also, you quickly talked about your coach. You talked about his how he was passionate about kids.